Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining our second Sound POS workshop of this year. My name is Cesar Rivas, and I am the National Sales Executive for Sound Payments in the area of Sound POS, as well as another one of our solutions known as Quantum Cloud. Well, today again is the second workshop of the year. If you had a chance to join me last year, these are half-hour workshops which are held the last Wednesday of every month at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And really it's made up of two segments. The first segment, 15 minutes approximately, will cover new features, or we'll talk about a specific type of merchant or establishment. And then the second half of the presentation will be kind of a quick sales pitch. So if you've been on any of these before, really the first 15 minutes is what you're going to see as something new. You've already seen the second half, so you'll be able to drop off after that. All of our sessions are recorded, and they're going to be on our YouTube channel, Sound Payments. So if you want to go back and look at the ones that we did last year, please feel free to do so. Also, I just want to mention Sound Payments. We want to create solutions for you as an ISO or a reseller that then you can turn around and provide to your merchants, your customers, that are really going to provide them with the technology to do their business, to be successful in running their business, and not have to worry so much about the little day-to-day things like that, because our solution is going to be able to take care of things like inventory, pricing, and so forth. And we also want to provide that, of course, at a reasonable cost to the customer. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the features that have to do with employee management, as well as customizing a little bit of our POS. And I'll be using a convenience store as the example because that's the one that's got the broadest range of products. All right. Now, our POS solution is highly adaptable. You can really restrict access, for example, on the employee side to a very detailed level. And I'll show you how to do that. We can create some roles and then manage your employees. And then again, going back to the customizing component of our POS, you're going to see how we're able to customize the receipt and even what the customer sees on the payment screen. Our countertop units come with two screens, one that's on the employee facing side that's running the cash drawer, and then the other one that's the payment terminal screen that faces the customer, and you'll see how you're going to be able to customize that at a very detailed level. All right, so the first thing is regarding employee management. So again, you can create different roles for the employee at a very detailed level. And I want to show you how we can do that. And for that, let me go into my pack store, log into my my terminal so you can see the screen. And I apologize, sometimes the system can be a little slow, and even PAX will knock me out a couple of times, and hopefully we'll be able to do that without problems this time around. All right, so I'm going to log in. I'm using an A920, so you can see. And again, the A920 is not the countertop unit, it's actually a portable unit, and it does have a full version of the POS. It's not any kind of a type of a watered down version. It's full version. All right. Okay, give me 1 second here because I need to actually start this here. All right. So give it 1 second while the terminal goes ahead and connects to the internet. I apologize for the delay here. Perfect. All right. So now we're connected. The terminal is going to receive a message that's going to, all right, let me go ahead and go back to the terminals here and then go back in. It gets an IP address and all that good stuff. Air viewer should be able to connect now. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into a couple of different profiles just so you can see the level of restriction that you can create using our terminals. All right. And I'm going to zoom into the screen. Again, it's the A920. It's going to look a little bit small here. Let me zoom in. It looks blurry now, but it's not the terminal screen. It's more of the interface on the web. So the first role I want to log into is the role of the person who does the inventory. Okay. Just so you can see how I can restrict functions. For example, this individual is not going to have any sales roles. All right. If we go to reports, for example, they don't have any sales reports. Their only report is inventory. And if you go into the actual inventory function, there's a feature there to manage your products, you would be able to normally add products using this feature. You would normally see an add button here, but I've even restricted that level for the employee, so they cannot even add any inventory. Okay, I'm going to log out now from the inventory individual, and I'm going to log in as the cash register individual. Now, our solution also has a feature that requires the individual, the employee, to log or clock in. We do have a time clock feature that manages how many hours people work, if they take breaks and so forth. So for this one, I did require them to clock in. I did not do so for the inventory person. So I'm going to go ahead and clock in, say okay. And now you're going to see a different set of functions. First of all, you see the sales function, which is not available for the inventory person. But if you go to the reports, you're also going to see two reports that are completely different. Okay, so they don't have the inventory report because they don't deal with the inventory, but they have reports that are related to sales, like transaction details in the batch report. Okay, all right, I'm going to log out of this one now, and I'm going to log into the administrator profile. I'm also going to clock out because I want you to see how I'm able to create the different roles. Okay, now you can do this in two different areas. You can create the different roles on the actual terminal, which I'm going to show you right now. Okay, or you can also do it on your web portal, well, on the merchant's web portal. So in the terminal, you go under maintenance, and then you use the roles feature. And I'm just going to show you briefly kind of some of the screens here. If I go to the administrator, you see that the first screen are functions that have to do with sales. And then the second tab here, authority, are functions that are a little more complex. You got like the different reports you can either enable or disable. Okay. And you'll see the whole list of reports on here. You've got other areas that you can also control, like the inventory and things like that. All right. And I want to show you then on the terminal, on the web portal side, log into my reseller web portal, and then I'll actually log into the store. So you can see exactly where you can do the same thing here. All right. So I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to log into the Micro Mart, and this is the actual merchant's web portal. Okay. So on the merchant web portal, all they need to do is just go to the POS section, go to employee maintenance, and then POS users or roles, sorry. This is where you would actually create the different roles. And you can see all the same things that you would have on the terminal. You can also create that here. Okay. All right. Once you create the role, and I'm going to go back to the terminal now. All right. Once you create that role, then you go into the employee section, and this is where you actually are going to add new users with specific defined roles. And this is where you would also, if we choose front counter, this is where you would also activate the need to clock in or not, okay, to log in or not. All right, so that's how we created that role. Now I want to show you a little bit about the time card function. So you saw me clocking in, and in that same time card function, you could do you do the time card. I'm going to log in as the administrator here for the time card. This is where you would also do like your breaks in and out and things like that. Now, I'm not going to log in right now, but the reason why I wanted to show you that is because you can then export that information into an Excel sheet. So if I go to POS users and I just go into, sorry, actually, POS users would be down here, POS configuration. Oh, our users here. Okay, we're going to use the, 1 second here. Where am I? Okay, employee maintenance, POS users. Oh, sorry, that's why I'm doing it under the reseller web portal, and I don't want to do it under there. I want to do it under the actual merchant web portal. That's why I could not find the actual reseller. So here's where you would export all that information. You can choose, the last 7 days or the last 30 days, and this will report how many hours have been worked in that time frame. So the system obviously doesn't calculate your payroll for you or anything like that, but you can export that information in Excel format. Here you've got the total hours worked, if they've taken a break, and any payment processing software will be compatible with Excel. So you'll be able to export that information there. All right. Also, if you want employees to have a barcode to log in, all you would need to do is just generate the barcode using this feature here. You can print it on a label and then stick it onto any kind of an employee badge and things like that. All right. All right. Second thing I want to show you guys here today is in terms of customization. As I said before, you can customize a lot of features in this solution, including a receipt. Now you can do it both on the web portal or on the terminal. So let's go back to the terminal for a second, so I can log back in, because unfortunately, PAX will log me out if I'm not active, like within a minute, I think. All right. Well, this logs in. Let me show you then on the web portal where you're going to be able to customize your receipt. You go in here, and I recommend doing it more on the web portal than on the terminal itself, for the simple reason that if you want to upload a logo, like you can see here, okay, it's a lot easier to do it here than doing it on the terminal. It can be done on the terminal. And here you can customize other things like your header, your footer, what lines you want to see on here, what you want to see on the actual receipt. And again, you can do the same exact thing on the terminal. Okay, it's taking a little bit of time to connect. Let me log out and log back in here. Go back to the A920. Go back to the Air Viewer. Connect. All right, bear with me 1 second here. Always seems to have some technology hangups over here. It just should be a second here. Come on. What's going on here, guys? Where's my Air Viewer? Here's my Air Viewer here. See what's going on with PAX connecting. Okay, it tells me that it is connected to the server. All right, here we go. Okay, I got to approve it here. And you're going to see the screen again. Let me zoom in once again and go back to Sound POS. So I'm already logged into the administrator. But if you want to customize the receipt on the terminal, you just go to settings. And you've got the receipt set up. And again, you can do the same thing that you would do on the actual web portal. And like I said, it's just a little bit trickier to do it with the regards to the logo on here. Okay. Let's see here. And then the second thing is, you can limit what shows up on your payment screen. Okay. And for that, we're going to do it on the terminal itself. And this is the best place to do this. If you go into your configuration feature that's under settings here, you're going to see several items that you can limit as far as what shows up on the customer display. Okay. You can even disable the customer display. Our terminals, the ones that are countertop, that come with an attached payment terminal. You can also use a detached payment terminal via wireless or Wi-Fi. All you do is, disable the customer display with the one that's attached, and then there's a process to actually attach an external one. So things like, requiring the signature, our payment terminal on the countertop ones, and even the portable ones, they are touch sensitive, so they can actually sign on there and it'll record their signature on there. Even tip options and things like that you can limit on the actual receipt or on the actual customer screen. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you is in terms of customization. If you go into let's see here, am I at the right one? Yes. If you go into the actual store, right? We are in the store, and as you can see, I can even put a logo of the store on here. I can also put a logo of the store on the customer display on the payment terminal. I'm able to add this one. So this way, when the customer steps up to the cash register, they're going to see the store logo facing them in their payment screen. Okay. All right. So with that, just wanted to show you again how you're able to customize employee access, the features in terms of your clock function, clock in, clock out function, your time clock function, and also how you can customize your receipts and your customer facing screen. All right. So with that, we're going to swing over to the second half of the presentation, which is, of course, a little bit of how I would present our solution. So first and foremost, just a little bit of background about our company. We're not an ISO gateway or processor, which means, again, I know that some other POS vendors out there do process, and there's always a concern in terms of ISOs and partners that they may take some other customers away. Well, our focus is really to create the solutions to provide you so that you can turn around and have the tools to provide better service and provide better results for your merchants. We're located out of Jacksonville, Florida. We do have an office also in St. Pete and the west coast of Florida, and a couple of offices worldwide in terms of development. We do our own development. We don't, hire anybody outside. In terms of hardware, we work with PACs. We are looking to expand with other hardware vendors, and we do work with other technology partners like CDE. These are the features that I usually bring up during our presentation. I talk about inventory, the ability to track inventory in various ways, whether it's by the product itself. You can track inventory by the ingredients using modifiers, or you could even track inventory by unique modifiers known as attributes, such as size or color. So if you've got, for example, a shirt that's got the same barcode, but it's got various sizes, even though it's got the same barcode, you can still track inventory by, how many small shirts you've got, medium, large, etc. All right. The other thing about inventory is we provide you and the merchant with the ability to upload your initial inventory utilizing an Excel spreadsheet. Obviously, this saves a lot of time, and it's a lot easier to do it instead of having to input each one by one. You can even attach a scanner and scan the barcode for each product, and it'll include it in the spreadsheet that you'll be able to later on upload. And then employees. Of course, today's session was about the ability to restrict access at a very detailed level for different employees, as well as being able to keep track of the hours that are worked. It's got a very powerful customers function. Not only is it able to store the customer's personal information, of course, no credit card information since the payment terminal is semi-integrated to the POS terminal, but in addition to saving all of the customer's personal information, it's got two features that are built in that are very powerful. One of them is the ability for the merchant to provide their customers with store credit, and they can set whatever limit they want. And then there's no pre-established payment schedule, but actually the merchant or the customer can choose when to pay, what amount they want, and whichever form of payment the store accepts, they'll be able to utilize as well. And then the second feature that's built into the customer's function is the ability to offer a points-based loyalty program. And the merchant is able to customize how many points are generated by purchase and how many points are required for a purchase, so they can create that ratio to whatever advantage they'd like. With regarding to sales tax, you're able to create unlimited number of sales tax categories, and these are assigned at the individual product level. So you can have a product that doesn't receive, for example, or is not taxed on locally, maybe another product that is taxed for, I don't know, any other reason. And again, it's at the individual product level, so you can have all the different various tax categories you'd like. Because it is a cloud-based POS, you're able to synchronize the data, and this has certain advantages. Number one is if a terminal were to go down, there's very little data loss. Maybe if it's in the middle of a transaction, maybe that transaction could be lost. But to replace the terminal is extremely simple. You just turn it on, assign it to that store, and it'll download all the information automatically. There's really very little interaction on the part of the merchant if that happens. The second advantage, of course, for cloud synchronization is if you've got multiple terminals, they'll be able to talk to each other, updating things like inventory, pricing, and customer information. And then, of course, it does come with a web portal, which allows the merchant and the reseller to access information remotely. For the merchant, they're able to do almost anything they would at the terminal using the web portal, with the exception of running a sale and maybe a couple of other functions. But other than that, it really provides a powerful tool for the merchant to be informed at all times of what's going on at their place of business. The second thing about the web portal is that it's not app-based, it's browser-based. So you can use or you can access information on a computer, on a tablet, even on a smartphone, just utilizing a browser. We recommend to utilize Microsoft Edge on the smartphone. That's the one that seems to work the best. And then you've got a whole range of reports, both on the terminal and on the web portal. The ones on the web portal are Excel based and PDF based as well. And you can modify the data and take a look at specific information if you need to on the web portal. We are certified with all major payment processors, so we are processor agnostic. Pretty much any processor will work with our POS. Again, because it is cloud-based, you have the ability to do real-time remote monitoring. And then we're able to add new services really without impacting the functionality of the payment terminal. So any upgrades and things like that can be done seamlessly without any intervention on the part of the merchant. And you can do it at night when the merchant is not running any transactions. Wanted to show you some screenshots. On the left-hand side are screenshots of the actual POS. So you've seen the one on the top, which is the A920. That has a smaller screen, of course. And the orientation is portrait, okay? And then on the bottom is the ones that you would see on the countertop units, which has a larger screen, and the orientation is landscape. And on the right-hand side, you can see screens of the web portal, both on a computer on the top and on a smartphone, what it would look like on the bottom. Regarding our hardware, they all come with batteries. Now, for the countertop, it's just a backup battery about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you happen to go down in the middle of a transaction, it's not lost. And we don't do store and forward, but rather it's very easy to connect those terminals to different Wi-Fi networks. Everybody has a cell phone. All they would need to do is activate the mobile hotspot and just change what network the terminal is connected to, and you'll be able to finish doing the transaction. Now for the portable unit, of course, that does have a long battery life. I think it's 24-hour standby and about 2 hours of functionality. And as I said before, or reiterated, it's got the full version of the POS loaded into a device that fits in the palm of your hands. They do have cameras. All the devices have cameras, which you can utilize to scan codes. I recommend you use an actual laser scanner. You can attach those to the countertop units. And there's a model of the A920, the portable unit, that comes with a built-in scanner as well, the A920 Pro. You got different ports for the countertop ones. So you can attach a cash drawer. You can attach, as I said before, a scanner. And they have got multiple ways to connect, not just through Wi-Fi. For the countertop units, you can also use Ethernet if you want to hardwire them, or they can all utilize a SIM card. And on the countertop ones, as I mentioned before, they do have the dual terminal screens, customer-facing screen, so they don't have to be flipped around for the customer to touch the user's screen. It really works in various industries, various verticals. Now, for the food industry, just want to clarify, it's not a good fit for a full-service restaurant since it doesn't have a reservation feature or a dining room layout feature, but it's great for quick serve, especially for things like food trucks and things like that. And also for storefront, things like butcher, ice cream parlor, and so forth. We're in the final phase actually of attaching a scale, so integrating a scale to our devices, so you'll be able to use that as well. And we're looking at to integrate two types of scale: the simple scale, you can see maybe at an ice cream place, and then the scale that you would see in the cash lanes that has the scale and the scanner built in. In regards to retail, it really does fit in a various number of establishments. Things like garment stores, like boutiques and things like that, a very good fit. Grocery stores as well. Bodegas, even the ones that got the cash lane, as I said, you can activate a remote payment terminal, so it's not attached. So you've got the POS on one side and the payment terminal on the other. And then other types of retailers, it does work with weight, it does work with service things. So you can charge, for a product and then add some service features and things like that. We do provide 24/7 merchant support. It's located here in the US. It's in Florida for your merchants, so they can call a 1-800 number and be able to clarify any issues that they may be having. We also provide you, the reseller or the ISO, with a one-stop shop website known as Sound Hub. There you'll be able to find articles on how to do things. You'll be able to download user manuals so you can share with your customers. And we do even provide a training session if you'd like for your customers. It does come at a cost at $100 per the training session, but if that's something that they need. But again, our user manual, user guide is extremely detailed and does have all the information necessary to run the terminal. And then we do provide, of course, app and firmware updates or upgrades. And as I said before, these are done seamless. We also have an advanced level support for you, the reseller, in case you run into any issues that cannot be resolved with our 24/7 merchant support. And even for the customer, if there is something that they can't solve, they'll automatically escalate it to our advanced level reseller support. And I can tell you, we have an extremely experienced implementation team. All right. So with that, if you do have any questions, please feel free to email me at caesar.r@soundpayments.com. The email is right on the screen there. And hopefully, well, we'll see you next month. Again, last Wednesday of every month at 1 p.m. Okay. And if you want to take a look at any of the older over the previous sessions, please feel free to go to our YouTube channel, Sound Payments, and you'll find all the sessions we did this year, plus the one that we've already done at the beginning of the year. All right, with that, thank you so much for participating and have a great rest of the day.